good news to all of mankind. This is the message that the Jewish people were to be a priest to the nations of the world. They were to actually lead people back to God. They were to show people what it was like to have God in your life. So what is it like to be a people of God, to be a people specifically chosen out of all the nations? And to show them what it was like to live this way. And God was going to prosper them. He was going to show the world through his people how amazing he is. The Jews were special people, chosen for a special place, a special purpose out of all the nations. In Deuteronomy 32, it says, when the Most High gave to the nations their inheritance, when he divided mankind, there's only one place in Scripture we know of that he divides mankind. That's at the Tower of Babel. And that's what this is talking about. He fixed the borders of the peoples according to the number of the sons of God. I know some of your versions will say sons of man. Those were the versions that were taken from the Septuagint, which is the Greek version of the Old Testament. The ESV and many of the later versions were taken from the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were much older. So he fixed the borders of the peoples according to the number of the sons of God. But the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob, his allotted heritage. And I don't have time to go into the whole sons of God thing. If you want to know about that, come and talk to me. I will show you what that is in Hebrew and what the people during the time of Christ thought about those words. But Isaiah is this amazing pastor. He understands what we need. He looks at the human heart. He can see to the human heart. And this is a gift that's given to him by God. And he sees our inherent desire to take a holy, amazing, all-powerful God, and we want to pigeonhole him into something that we can control. This is something that humanity has done from the start. We try to put God into a category that we can control. But as we are going to see, God is incomparable. God cannot be put into a category to be controlled. So Yahweh calls, Yahweh being his holy name, which is I am in Hebrew, what Moses was told to tell the people that had sent him. Yahweh called Israel out of Egypt. He gave them the 10 commandments, not the 10 suggestions, it was the 10 commandments. He made a covenant. He made covenants with them, saying, this is what I'm going to do for you. If you follow me, you'll stay in the land. If you don't, I'm going to have to punish you. They disobeyed his laws and his character, and they sought after other gods, other Elohim, which is God in Hebrew, over and over and over again. So what does God do? After they split between the northern and southern kingdoms, he sends the northern 10 tribes, he sends them into captivity in Assyria. And now he's going to send Judah into Babylonian captivity because of their rebellion. See, but even so, even Assyria, even Babylon is going to be judged. Nobody on this earth is outside of God's purview. Just because someone does not believe in God doesn't mean that the Bible doesn't pertain to them. Just because you don't believe in God does not mean that you can do whatever you want and there aren't going to be any ramifications for it. Because God sees all. God is Lord of all. So Babylon is going to be judged, but God will restore a remnant of his people because he promised Abraham. He keeps his promises. A very small remnant comparably, but a remnant's going to come back to Judah and Jerusalem. So what is Isaiah 40 doing? Isaiah 40 is giving us words of encouragement that were probably either given to the people during Hezekiah's time, which, they're knowing this is going to happen. They've heard the prophecy. And they need to be encouraged. It's okay. God's got this. We need to tell ourselves today. All the insanity going on in the world out there. The World Economic Forum meeting and telling us how we've got to get rid of our gas stoves and we can't have chicken eggs. And God's got that. They're not saying anything that doesn't surprise him. He's got it. He'll take care of it. They'll all get their due, which should scare us because we'll get ours too if we're not careful. If we don't trust him. Or it could be that these words are encouragement to those who are in exile. God's promised. He's promised he's going to bring us back. God is a promise keeper. He will always make a way in the midst of the trials of our lives. He always finds a way to get us through. But there's much more to Isaiah 40 than just a great story from history. Isaiah 40 talks very much to us today. So we find ourselves